Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about how I grew my hair out personally and my tips for you if you are trying to grow your hair out. So I am going to be looking down every once in a while because my tips are in my notebook here. So sorry if that bothers you. So my first tip is going to be I don't recommend getting your hair cut all the time. I know that the people at the salon and a lot of people on YouTube say that you should be getting your hair cut like at least monthly, and I definitely don't agree with that. If your hair is healthy and if your hair is not breaking off all the time and you genuinely feel good about your own hair, don't cut it just because they say it'll make your hair grow faster because once your hair is breaking, it's still growing. Your hair is growing from here, so cutting off here is not going to help it grow any, but if your hair is breaking off, it looks like your hair is not growing. So that is why they tell you to cut your hair, but if your hair is healthy, don't do that because there's no point. I personally cut my hair about every 6 months, and I do it myself when I think that I need a trim. That's why, well, that's not why I have smaller pieces, but I had layers, so I am trying to grow like these pieces out, and sometimes these pieces will get more damaged than the bottom, so I'll just cut the pieces that I think need the work. So that is a tip from me to you, and I hope that you are able to do that just because I definitely don't agree with getting your hair cut that often if you are trying to grow it out. If you are trying to maintain a length, yeah, perfect. But if you want it to grow, you don't need to do that every single month. My next tip is going to be, this actually goes along with the first one. Don't wash your hair every single day. I know a lot of people find that really disgusting, but your hair, well, your head releases natural oils for your hair. I think you obviously know that, but if you didn't know, it helps your hair, like, if you can tell your virgin hair on top is obviously, like, smoother and nicer because it's not bleached like mine. But okay, we're gonna start that one over. So my next tip that actually goes along with the first one that I stated was don't wash your hair every single day. I know that a lot of people will find that gross or like just can't do it, but once you're doing it for like a week or two, your hair doesn't like accumulate oils as quickly once you continue to do it. I probably wash my hair every 3 days. I haven't washed my hair in 2 days and it's not oily at all. So that's what I recommend doing if you're trying to grow your hair out because obviously those oils are amazing for your hair and the farther that they can get down the hair shaft, the better because it's helping your hair all the way around. So if you are able to do that, like say you're not going out for a few days, like don't wash your hair. My next tip is going to be do heatless hairstyles. If you would like a video on that, please like and comment down below, and I will do that for you. I highly recommend braids, though. If you aren't very good with like doing creative things, I would say just do a braid because braids look cute, and then you take them out, and then it looks really pretty. So, yeah, do heatless hairstyles instead of getting your hair done. And a tip that goes along with that is if you are going to do a heatless or if you are going to do a heated hairstyle, try to keep that in your hair for 2 or 3 days because you're damaging your hair when you're doing a heatless hairstyle every single time. So the longer that you can keep that in, the better because your hair is going to get the oils and it's going to help. So I recommend if you are going to do a heat hairstyle, please don't wash your hair. My next tip is going to be get a leave-in conditioner. So like for me, I have extremely frizzy hair and it makes my hair look damaged, but my hair is not damaged. So I personally, after the shower, I always put my leave-in conditioner in, and I recommend getting one that's pretty lightweight just because I don't like the feeling of like thickness or like heavy on my hair. So you can find them literally anywhere, TJ Maxx, Ross, Walmart, Target. Just get a cheap one, like it's going to help your hair. So that's what I recommend. And also dry shampoo. If you have dry shampoo and you aren't comfortable like keeping your hair unwashed, that will really help for the first couple days. And then my next tip would be protective hairstyles at night. This is the most important just because at night you are moving and you're not realizing what you're doing. So a lot of the time people's hair break at night. And a way that you can prevent that is doing heelless hairstyles like a braid or a bun or getting a satin pillowcase. So those are two things that I do recommend and that I do have or do both of them. So yeah, if you are able to do one of those or both of them, that is really going to help and benefit your hair. My next tip is going to be, I don't know if there's actually any proof or any scientific explanation on this, but I personally believe that when you are working out, your hair is growing quicker. I'm not working out at the moment, but when I was starting my hair journey, getting it long, I worked out a lot, and I always felt like my hair was growing so much quicker when I worked out. I don't know if that's actually the case, but that is something I do recommend, and it can't hurt you. So that is one of my tips. And then the next one would be vitamins. I know a lot of people say on their videos like, hey, take biotin. But I recommend taking a multivitamin just because when you feel better, you look better. Your hair, skin, nails, everything looks better. So I recommend a multivitamin rather than biotin. My next tip is going to be, these are two tips combined. So 8 and 9 are going to be pretty much the same. Don't touch it all the time. Pull at it and move it and brush it and all these hairstyles all day long, just because I personally feel like that's pulling your hair out for no reason. So I don't do that. And I also feel like this is my next tip that goes along with it. When you aren't obsessing over your hair, well, I think it's just a logical thing. But I was moving. For a few months, I wasn't really worried about my hair. I was still doing my leave-ins and my braids. But it wasn't really oh my God, did my hair grow today? I don't think that that's healthy. And also, I think that makes you feel like your hair doesn't grow at all. So when I got here, I was like, wow, my hair grew so fast. But in reality, it grew as fast as it normally does. It's just I wasn't worried about it so much. So that is another tip from me. And then my last tip is going to be, if you color your hair, try to do something to where you don't need to color it as often. Obviously, I have roots, and roots don't bother me. But if they bother you and you are a full blonde, try to do highlights instead of a full bleach. Or if you dye your hair a color that your hair is never that color, I recommend trying to get a color close to your natural hair color. Because when you are trying to grow out your hair, you are trying not to damage it at all. So hair dye damages your hair. So that is my last and final tip, and I hope that you guys learned something from this video, or you are going to try one of my tips. I know that they weren't very special, but they worked for me, so I hope that they work for you. Thank you so much for watching my video. Like and subscribe.